Have you ever typed a prompt into an AI image generator, waited with excitement, and then gotten something, well, a little underwhelming? Yeah, we've all been there. Today, we're going to fix that. We are going to learn how to stop thinking like a user and start thinking like an art director, turning simple words into a professional-grade creative brief for your AI. Okay, so this right here gets to the absolute heart of the problem. On the left, you've got a spaceship. The AI could generate a million different things from that, and most of them probably won't be what you're picturing. But the prompt on the right, that's not just a request, that's a scene. It's a whole story. It is a specific, actionable instruction that gives the AI almost no choice but to create something incredibly compelling. And the secret to bridging that huge gap isn't just about finding some magic words. It's about having a system. It's a whole mindset shift, really. We're moving away from just typing things in and hoping for the best to acting like a director who writes a detailed brief for their AI collaborator. So our very first step on this journey from user to director is learning how to sidestep something I like to call the vagueness trap. And listen, we have all fallen into this trap. We ask the AI for a nice vibe or to make it more engaging. But here's the thing, those are feelings, they're not instructions. The AI is absolutely incredible at synthesizing specific details, but it has literally no idea what a nice vibe actually means to you. So the solution is you have to become a translator. You've got to translate your own subjective taste, what feels right, into objective technical parameters that the AI can actually execute. So instead of saying, make it better, you command it, change the lighting to high contrast chiaroscuro. Use a dramatic low angle shot. See, you're giving it orders it can actually follow. So how do we build these powerful commands in a way that makes sense every time? Well, we use a 5-layer brief. Think of this as the fundamental anatomy of a professional prompt. It makes sure every critical element is covered, and just as importantly, in the right order. Here they are, the 5 layers. You always start with the absolute focus, your main subject. Then you build the world around it with the scene and the environment. Next, you inject some life into it, some dynamism with an action. After that, you define the whole mood with environmental details like the color palette and time of day. And only then, at the very end, do you lock in the overall artistic style. It's a hierarchy, you see. You move from the core content to the final aesthetic polish. And here is what that system looks like in action. Just look at how this builds from a really clear subject, a colossal skeletal mech, and then it just adds layer after layer of specific evocative detail. We've got the scene, the action, the color palette, and finally, this style. Each layer adds another crucial piece to the puzzle. What you get is a prompt that doesn't just hope for a good image, it literally engineers one. Okay, so we have our script, that's our 5-layer brief. Now it's time to actually get behind the camera. We're going to grab a director's toolkit of high-impact modifiers to really dial in that cinematic, professional quality. Let's be honest, lighting is pretty much everything when it comes to setting a mood. So instead of just saying good lighting, you can use these incredibly precise terms. You want drama? Use chiaroscuro. Need some serious atmosphere? Add volumetric lighting. Those God rays? Going for that cyberpunk feel? Neon noir is your absolute go-to. These are powerful commands that completely shape the feel of your final image. And just like a real filmmaker, you get to control the camera. You can specify a low-angle shot to make your subject look heroic, or maybe a close-up portrait for intimacy. And you can use technical terms like shallow depth of field or natural bokeh to create that really professional, photographic look where your subject just pops right off the screen. Now, this is a really fascinating insight. When you add terms to your prompt like octane render or shot on Kodak Portra, you're not just asking for a particular style. You're actually giving the AI a direct order for computational quality. You're basically compelling it to use more processing power to give you a higher fidelity, more detailed image. It's like a quality hack built right into the words you use. All right, next up is the final cut. We're heading into the virtual edit bay where a director uses precision tools to control exactly what the audience focuses on and, of course, to clean up any little flaws. So by default, an AI might treat every single word in your prompt with about the same level of importance. Prompt weights let you fix that. By using a simple double colon and then a number, you can tell the AI exactly what should dominate the frame. You get to be the one who controls the visual hierarchy. Take a look at this first example here. By weighting apocalyptic cityscape at a 4 and the lone figure at a 1, you're literally telling the AI that the environment is 4 times more important. And just like that, the cityscape becomes the star of the show, and the figure shrinks down to a supporting role. It's an unbelievably precise way to control your final composition.
Now, here's a pro tip. Great direction isn't just about what you put in, it's often more about what you strategically take out. This is where negative prompts become your absolute essential quality control tool. Think of them like a cleanup crew for your image.
For any kind of professional quality work, a really robust negative prompt list is pretty much mandatory. You use it to filter out everything from general blurriness to those infamous AI-generated hands with like 6 fingers. It's how you enforce a high standard on the final image and avoid those common amateurish mistakes. And here's a really simple but super powerful trick. Always lock in your aspect ratio early on in the process. If you're making a poster, setting a vertical ratio like 9:16 isn't just a formatting choice. It's a compositional command. It forces the AI to start thinking vertically, and often that leaves you with perfect negative space to add your text later on. Okay, let's tackle one of the biggest, most frustrating challenges in AI art: getting clean, accurate text. This is a notoriously difficult problem for pretty much every image model out there. And this is the paradox we're all facing. These AI models can generate breathtaking visuals in literally any style you can dream of, but then they'll produce misspelled, garbled, or just plain gibberish text. And for any kind of professional work, that kind of error is a complete non-starter. It's just unacceptable. So, the professional solution is actually pretty simple. Don't fight the AI on its weakness. Instead, you embrace a hybrid workflow. You use the AI for what it's brilliant at, creating that stunning background art. Then you export that beautiful image and add your perfect, clean typography in a dedicated tool like Photoshop or Canva. And remember, mastering all of this is not about getting it perfect on the very first try. It's a process, a structured refinement. You start simple, get a baseline image you kind of like, and then you change just one variable at a time: the lighting, maybe the camera angle, maybe a prompt weight, so you can see exactly how it impacts the final result. This makes your changes measurable, predictable, and way less frustrating. So, by using a structured brief, a cinematic toolkit, and these precision controls, you're no longer just rolling the dice and hoping for a good result. You are taking control. You're not a user anymore. You are the director. So the only question left is, what are you going to create?